Welcome to the Front, Commandos. I'm Nico the Iron Elf, a war elf forged in the fires of battle. Today, me and Yog are commanding Armchair General, a series where we dissect war tactics, military equipment, and modern combat developments. And let's see, in the chat we have a Cannon, hello, and Stug, welcome.
Howdy.
And so today, there's a lot that happened this week. If anyone caught the flash message that we sent out. I think how many days ago was that? But that was mostly India. But now we're back to Ukraine.
That was on Monday. Yeah, that was on Monday.
All right. So for Ukraine this week, most of the fighting was in Luhansk and Sumy, and they both had their supporting actions here and down here, where we're going to cover a little more here, just because there's more info on it.
Hello,
hi Smitty.
Hello.
Hi Kamikaze. Welcome. All right. So first we have the zoom in on Sumy.
Yes. So, a Legend is afoot says hello too as well. Hello, Legend.
Hi, Legend. Welcome to the stream.
All right. So, would you like me to handle this?
Yep, go on this one.
So, this is the one little chat I did. So, this is the Sumy, Kursk, and Belgorod offenses. We are going through all three of them because they all sort of are the same one. So, since the beginning of April, over 50 kilometers plus of the Sumy Oblast has been occupied since the beginning, and with a lot of land seizures this week. The villages of Velikovsk, Zhukov, Neryok, and Baskova have been captured. And as of now, all of Kursk and Belgorod have been fully recaptured, leaving no territory left under Ukrainian control. No forests, no borders, nothing.
Mm-hmm. I think that they're going to continue to pull troops out because their objectives are again elsewhere now at this point. So, and that brings us to the Luhansk direction. So, Toretsk here continues to be a massive meat grinder. They're just fighting over the city like crazy. Mostly infantry fighting, some armor, but it's just been back and forth for a long time. It's mostly under Russian control at this point. And there is supporting action over in Pokrovsk.
Yeah, I think up to 90% of Tursk is captured now, so it's kind of like a done deal.
Yeah. And then we did find our boys are back, the 72nd, as you can see right here. They're supporting the little counteroffensive. That's this tiny little sliver right here.
Yep, it's not the most.
It will go to the main battle of Pokrovsk.
Yep. I do want to point out this little Newsweek article that I found. This was from 2 days ago. It says Ukrainians have declared victory in the Battle of Provets, and then 2 days later, Russian troops have entered the bottom district of Provets for the first time, right after the declaration of victory and capturing the highway leading into it.
Yeah. Like, the battle was just starting, and they're like, we won! It's over, go home. At least Newsweek was. I'm sure the Ukrainians were super trying to be like, we won.
That comes from a Ukrainian source.
There is no way. They should know better by now. I don't know why they're trying to claim victories. Stuff like this.
So what the article was saying was that because they had not allowed Russia to enter in the city at this point, they won.
Oh, okay. And then here we can see the zoomed out map. Right here we were looking at Pokrovsk there, and you can see this is kind of the city right here. And a lot of fighting was happening on the flanks.
Yep.
So our main little counteroffensive right here, you can see the little itty bitty sliver. Recon element got repelled. We won. True.
Yep. Actual battalion attacks. Oh no.
Yeah, right? But it's so the 72nd is back right here. And they're trained back up. They're doing a lot of drone stuff. So they're pretty good at that. That's why they're like elite at this point. They've been involved in so much crap. They have like 10 skill, 0 luck.
B1, the rules say you have to leave. I love the little like. Why
Yeah.
would you ever put an article out? Like, you can look at the map. If you look at the map right now, the city's like very close to being encircled, and like, you know what I mean? Like,
Yep.
and that's a
Looks
very important logistics hub. As you can see, all the railways go into it.
it looks like the main railway here will still be used, but here probably not used as much. They do have a road though, so they could get in supplies that way. But it does seem
Yeah,
like it's in range of this territory. I don't have the topographical map, but if this is the high ground, this is screwed. If it's the other way, then they're okay. But
yeah.
yeah, it would be pretty bad. It's very, very close. Uh, oh, yeah, we can see it's within 10 kilometers. So a drone could definitely get in range of it and mess it up.
I do wonder though, like, if the city falls, what other cities are left in Donetsk at this point? I think like most cities have been captured at this point.
Hmm. I don't know, but they just keep going to the next city. If they continue, it'll turn very ugly, and judging by the advance, the Russians have the upper hand. Yeah, the Russians have numbers. There's just so many of them. And the drones brings us to the next slide. There is an Army of Drones program. So they've set up a bounty style system on Grave 1 Market where you can get points for destroying enemy targets and you can spend the points on resources. And the only ones we know right now are these. Eliminating a Russian, 6 points. Destroying a tank, 40 points. Damaging one is only 20. And for 43 points, you can get a vampire drone. That's the only things that we have confirmed off of that website for now.
I don't like this at all. I
All
actually
right.
think this is really fucked up.
Oh
Because
my god.
okay, if you read into the psychology of drone pilots, like
Hmm.
uh like American drone pilots, there's a lot of heavy PTSD when it comes to tracking your enemies because like an MQ-9 Reaper will follow and stalk its victims for weeks and weeks and weeks on end. You start
Hmm.
to know these people, you start to look and learn their things. But if you start turning it into a game, the thing is,
Uh,
as you know, the drones have little cameras and you can see the faces of people. If you
yeah.
listen to a lot of veteran stories, a lot of them say like if they ever see the face of the person, they will remember it forever. So I only
Mm.
think this really works for psychopaths.
I think it might be worse than that, even. It's not like a morale thing. It's they're trying to figure out how to allocate resources. They're running out of drones. That could, if that's the case, it would be really, really bad. The AI will be used to blur out the faces. And oh yeah, that's another thing is the Miar. I can't pronounce the name, but this guy's
Mygar.
birds.
Mygar.
Mygar.
It's
Okay,
Hungarian.
is at the top of the leaderboard with 16,300 points approximately. So yeah,
Yeah.
it is a lot of points that they've acquired, and they're pretty much the elite number one drone unit in the Ukrainian army.
AI will be used to blur out the faces. I feel like the thing is though, like you can't. It's so weird listening to how people describe killing other people because they just. No matter how much you try to block it out of your head, it can never go away. So even using AI or anything like that will not help.
Mm. I think it's going to be totally AI done pretty soon, maybe within 10 years.
Yeah.
It
Well,
won't be
okay. Are
even
you
a
saying like
person flying it. It'll just be AI finding targets on its own.
will it just be will it just be robots fighting robots?
Yep.
No
Well,
one dies. It just
they don't
everyone's just sitting there like, dang it,
they don't necessarily have to be fighting robots, but yeah, there'll be robots on one side.
dang it.
And next, there's some. This is a little bit more political than we normally do, but they, the U.S. Ukraine, have a bilateral economic partnership agreement. So what this
Yep.
does is, I think the main thing is the U.S. can invest into the uh, natural resource extraction of Ukraine using military equipment. I think that's the main thing.
Yes, I would like to point out this is not a security agreement. Some people have a little people are confused by that. It's not really
Hmm.
a security agreement. It is a I'm assuming we buy your stuff and then we get your It's hard to explain. It's like it's not like a good I don't want to put my opinion on it, but I feel as if it's really just it's like the idea of a deal as of right now. It has not been approved by
Hmm.
Ukrainian parliament.
Yeah, I agree. I forgot about that part, but yeah, that's true. They're still working on it. I think they'll agree to it just because they have such great need of the military assistance.
Yeah,
But I could be wrong. I don't know that much about their politics. All
yeah.
right, this
I
one's yours.
yes, this one is mine. So today, Wall Street Journal, or not today. Wall Street Journal has revealed the Russian military production. So last week, I may have been wrong about certain numbers, but this is the Wall Street Journal's yearly production for the Ukrainian war from the Russian military.
Hmm.
As you can see, for towed artillery, it's shot up. Multi-rocket launchers have shot up. Main battle tanks is actually replenished fully, and the armored vehicles is starting to replenish. Self-propelled artillery is replenishing as well, showing that they've really restored like their wartime economy.
Hmm.
And I think it's kind of like a wake up sign. I think,
Yeah,
like, I think we really need to be like, huh, how are you supposed to counter this?
yeah,
How are you supposed to counter this when they finally gotten back and figured out how to rebuild their army?
yep. I think a really big thing is the towed artillery and the MRLs is they're greatly increased, but their main focus is on the mobility and the firepower. So look, you have what between 2,000 and 1,500 self-propelled artillery, but for the towed artillery, which you think is way easier to make, they're not making it that much. It did double, more than double in how much they make, but it's still between under well under 1,000, a little over 500.
Towed artillery is kind of weird. I think it's just like it's sort of a. I don't think we want to. Yeah, I think it's because of counter battery fire. That's probably what it is.
Yeah,
Oh, we're gonna actually getting into that amphibious. Don't worry, but I think the reason why towed artillery is not being made as much is it's kind of a pain in the ass and also a
mhm,
very easy target.
yeah, especially with
Oh,
drones. The drones can be up and hunting for them
yeah,
while they're still firing. So I think the mobility is a much bigger deal than it used to be.
yeah, like the Lancet drones. Like if you ever watch
Yeah,
Lancet videos, most of their targets are towed artillery, and it just dudes running and being like, yeah,
yeah,
stationary firing positions.
yeah. Everyone was like, "Oh, drones are making tanks and armor obsolete," and it's like, nah, it's making them super relevant again. It's more than they used to be.
You know what? I really don't like that argument of tanks and everything's gonna become obsolete. It's like, nah, it's never gonna become obsolete. It's just gonna evolve.
Hmm. And then for India Pakistan, I didn't see much ever since we covered it from Monday. But there's been small scale skirmishes at the border a couple times, but no big escalations. It's actually de-escalated a little bit because I haven't heard of like rockets or mortars being used again.
No, but it is all still small arms fire, and as you
Hmm.
can see, drones are starting to be shot down by the Pakistan military. So I'm thinking both in India is attempting to not cause a strike just yet. I think
Yeah,
both of them are kind of like, how are you supposed to do this?
yeah. And then here
Because
we have a map along the line of control where those skirmishes have taken place. So there's a lot of them, but I haven't heard of uh any like how do you say it, like Like any big casualty events.
No big casualty events, but as of now, a lot of small stuff is being destroyed or like putting back and forth. The thing is, this is 24 ceasefire violations in a week, which is a lot in that area. So the thing is, all it takes is one soldier being killed to blow it up immediately.
Yeah.
Yesterday
India,
alone, there was four. There was four ceasefire violations.
India, Pakistan started kicking off on Sunday, like last week.
Yep.
And then we did the little Armchair General, the Flash, on Monday. Once we got a bunch of info, it was like overnight too. So
Yeah.
yeah,
I
you know why nothing happened? The trailer for "Now You See Me, Now You Don't" was released. Classic. And then
I like that though.
terrible, terrible news. The
Oh.
M10 has been canceled.
No.
Right? I wanted my little airborne tank. I know it's a bad concept, but please,
I
please.
thought the Russians have airborne tanks. How come we can't have airborne tanks?
Right?
Dang, BMP-4s are the coolest BMPs too.
Mm-hmm.
Because they got
But
like a
they,
real gun on them.
yeah, and they only made one. They only made one ever.
Yeah, one was
It's
only
so
delivered to the
sad.
U.S. Army. So that means there's one. Some soldier has one.
He showed up on his first day to school, and he's like, "I'm gonna do great." And they said, "Damn, you ugly, get out of here!" And they canceled the program. And it's like, no,
Yeah.
no, just getting Abrams on a parachute. They should try that. That could. Don't they drop them at? Wait, was that wasn't Abrams, right? That was something else. I
What?
saw something getting dropped out of C-130s. And it just like
Probably
slid along the ground.
Bradley. Probably Bradley's.
Ah, okay.
C-130 dropped since forever. I have had convinced that M10 Booker is good because he says dislikes it. I really think right now they're just going to all the army stuff and being like, that sounds stupid, and just cutting it right now.
No.
Unfortunately, it's just stuff like this happens, and the U.S. for some reason just can never build a light tank to save its life because it just
Yeah.
builds a tank and goes, it has a smaller gun.
Right? They build it and they're all, damn, its survivability is worse. And they scrap it. And it's like, it's light. What do you mean? It's supposed to have a little less survivability. Its survivability is in maneuver.
I love
Hello.
it because I love it so much because what was it? The Bradley's development was just insane. Yes, Pentagon Wars movie. That's what I was about to mention.
Ah.
Bradley's development was just crazy because they
Mm.
were like, so it's a tank, right? No, it's not a tank.
Mm.
This sucks.
All right, one moment. Hello, Booker Review. Hello, welcome to the stream. We are covering a lot of stuff this week, mostly Ukraine. And that's from our YouTube friend.
Oh, hello, YouTube friend.
Yep. All right. So the Anduril, I don't know if you we've mentioned this company before, but Anduril is pretty cool. They're developing a new prototype.
Mm-hmm. First testing for the Air Force's new collaborative combat drone program, the YFQ-44A, will be an assisted combat drone. So we're getting new airframes, guys.
Yeah. It is pretty cool looking. I think it's like more of a strategic drone, and Anduril's the same company that makes a lot of drone stuff, and they also made recently I think it was like some EMP anti-drone thing.
I think so, yes.
Yeah. We're getting closer to Ace Combat 7 every year. True. I can't wait for the drone with the lasers. That's gonna be crazy.
Oh, I forgot to send you that. Yes, MQ-9s are being tested with laser air-to-air defense systems.
I told you the pods. The pods are coming.
Yes.
What about the Measure Ship drone? I haven't heard anything on that. I think they're still developing it.
That's going to be a long time. A flying aircraft carrier is a dream, but as of right now, I think only Russia and Ukraine have like mothership drones that have detaching drones on them. I've seen a Russian one in combat, and it's like it's a weird idea. Like it works, but I don't think it's gonna be a. I think like a big one's gonna take a long time, especially ones of this size.
Mm-hmm. All right. So the Russians have developed a new cruise missile, and we don't really know that much about it. So,
Yeah,
yeah.
I I spotted this on TASS, and an unknown Russian cruise missile was spotted. I don't know what it is, but it looks very similar to the American one, so it's possibly a copy, but we don't know yet. This is the only image we have of it.
Yeah. Do you think it'll be closer to the one from AC7 or the one in Avengers? I think it would be closer to Ace Combat because that was more plane-like, and the other one was like a helicopter. It was helicopter mode, and it's like, oh, how can it? No, it's not aerodynamic at all.
Beluga whale, huh?
Yeah,
I think it's probably there's been like Boeing stuff where they want like just a 777 that can have planes come in and out of it, but they've
yeah.
kind of like it's kind of like they're that's really like in the back burner.
hmm And then next, North Korea built its biggest ship that they've ever built,
Mm-hmm.
5,000 tons. There we
Yep,
can see it has. I think that's like it looks very very similar to the littoral gun.
it
Uh,
is.
it
Is a
is. Oh,
knockoff of it.
they copied it. Oh no.
Baby's first
They,
frigate. I love you guys. It's made out of fiber.
it's so.
It's
It's they copied the ship that we said, "Damn, this ship's terrible."
in mine laying, but hey, that is true. But I feel like nobody invests in mine laying anymore, except for I think Iran.
Yeah, I think. What if they made like a drone mine? That could be something where it'd be like, yeah, it'll detect targets as a drone and then kind of torpedo towards it.
Oh,
That could
bad.
be very
Actually,
scary.
bad. Reading your comment. Funny enough, that's a Russian air defense system on it. It was given a Panzer,
hmm
so it's really they call it like the North Korean version, but Russia gave them a bunch of air defense and missiles for it, and
I think
it's
it's right here in the back, right? Is that it?
yeah,
Yeah.
it's right there. Yes. So it's
And then,
really funny that you mentioned that because yeah, no, this is part of the technology sharing deal that they
mm,
have where they give a whole bunch. North Korea, you guys are going to see in the next 10 years, North Korea is going to start building a lot of suspiciously modern stuff. Wink, wink.
yeah.
You're going to be like, huh.
They don't really need to invest into mines. Here is the ship firing. Is that the same ship? It's hard to tell.
Yes,
Yeah.
that is firing a cruise missile out of it. And I think, yeah, it's basically testing out its yeah, they finally got the newer stuff. But that's the
Yeah.
problem, bad. If they get the newer stuff, then they're going to make more advanced. It's sort of when you start sharing technology, it gets more and more advanced with each other.
Yeah. All right. The nuclear cruiser is started. Actually, it's waded out into the water finally.
Yes.
No, my Choma HOS. True. Kim Jong's bulk taking up half the frame, right? Why is he here?
Yeah.
Oh, I
He
think it
just
might be
is.
like their propaganda shot. Like they want to
It is.
associate it where it's like, yeah, he is the
He's
main
big, yeah.
thing. Even with their ship that they're talking about, he's still the main reason for it. I think is what they're trying to say.
You can see
Yeah,
his
the
fat
aura.
rolls on his neck.
He's aura farming. It's like a white girl photo, right? Me and the besties testing out naval warfare.
uh, okay, so let me go for this one.
Mhm.
So the nuclear cruiser Admiral Nakivmi has started sea trials again. This is basically so for context, these ships are massive. These are the second largest ships in the world behind aircraft carriers. It's nuclear power. Like this thing is basically like almost as bigger than some aircraft carriers and helicopter carriers. It's been
Mhm.
under modernization for years because it's just I mean, like it's massive. It's almost as big as the Konets. It's huge, and
Yeah.
they're modernizing it to allow it to fire caliber cruise missiles and a whole bunch of new air defenses and anti-ship cruise missiles. You're going to see a lot of sea trials for this thing. It is. I'm trying to think if I forgot to show you the scale photo, but this thing is like, oh gosh, I can't even like. I want to get the scale. I want to add the scale photo.
Okay.
Let me see.
It's
Entertain them.
252 meters long. Holy moly. That's like 2.5 football fields, right? For
Yes,
for the Americans? Yeah.
it
Unlikely
is.
story. Uh it's hard to say. I think they have the Air Force to support it.
What?
The ship,
Well,
the cruiser.
they have like the thing is they have the destroyers and frigates and the
Hmm.
Air Force. It's just their helicopter carrier is not finished yet. So when that gets finished, it's going to be like it's going to be unstoppable when it's finished with like a carrier and like a carrier group and everyone helping it out. I'm not going to
Yeah.
say like completely unstoppable, but more like you're going to see like no, I can't find the size comparison. Dang it. There's a photo of it like a British Navy ship and it just dwarfs it.
Mm. Yep. Who needs intelligence networks when they leave giant smoke trails? Right?
Eh.
With this ship, though, you might not need to hide. All right, our next one is a little bit of maybe bittersweet news. The A10 is going to be replaced with the F-15EX variant. So
Aw.
Grandpa Plane's finally going to get to retire. He's gonna have mojitos on the beach. He's
What?
done pretty good, but it's time for him to to go to the home.
I don't
Gradual
know if it's a
retirement.
gradual.
I think it is
I don't.
gradual, just because they're gonna update these planes and just cycle them out. A10 was a mid anyways. No.
No, you can't say that. That's mean.
Yeah. Bro's a
That's
Vietnam
mean.
plane. He's a Vietnam plane. Give him a break. He's just a little guy. It was
He
mid.
helped us. He helped us in Iraq. How dare you? Saddam's army
Yeah.
fell to it.
It wasn't a Vietnam plane. I mean, it was basically at the same time, right? That's close enough.
Oh my god, Bad's gonna kill you.
The British don't feel that way. Oh no. God's
God's strongest
strong
blue
is
on
blue
blue.
on blue. He
I
just
um I
needed he just needed a few sacrifices. He did pretty good.
I think they're probably gonna
1977? Right? So think about it like that. It's a Vietnam plane. It's in the 70s. Vietnam time.
uh what is this? I think I don't know why they've just. I think like the Air Force is just like or Navy. They're just like get rid of it. It's just sad because it's a good plane. It's honestly a great
Mhm.
plane, and it's really helped us in Iraq and Afghanistan.
Yeah.
And it's a good plane against conventional enemies.
Yep. A10. True. A10. Very fun. That's from YouTube. A10. It makes a lot of noise. It's great for propaganda. Yeah. I'm gonna miss this plane. It's a very nice
I
plane.
I like the shark face.
Right? It's so cute.
I love it.
All right.
Is this correct me if I'm wrong? The Soviet version was the Sukhoi 25, right?
I
Correct me if
think
I'm
so.
wrong. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, close air
Basically the
support.
equivalent.
Yeah.
And another bad news. The American USS Truman lost an F-16 during fighting Yemen. So what happened was they're saying it was an accident. It's hard to tell who's telling the truth, who's lying. But what it seems like the Houthis shot at the ship while this thing was on the elevator or landing or something, and the carrier had to evade fire and it fell off the side. It went
Oh,
ploosh into the water. Forgot the parking brake. True.
I feel bad because it was
Yeah.
a Super Hornet too, and uh, this would does it technically count as a loss? Like, can we count this as a
Yes.
loss?
Absolutely.
Damn.
It was $60 million. Just fish it out. No. I wish. Absolutely.
Oh.
Thankfully, no one was hurt, though. Well, actually,
Yeah,
one guy
yeah,
was
that's
hurt
really
a
good.
little bit, but he's fine. Don't even worry
Yeah,
about him. He's
probably a loss.
okay.
Oh. This is crazy if you think about it. Houthis have technically shot down F-16s, F-15s, and taken out 2 F-18s if you really think about it.
Mhm.
That's very hard.
Uh, this one was captured by the Houthis as well.
Mhm. A AGM-88B anti-radiation missile. Basically, it's for targeting air defense systems and radar systems. Was caught today, fully intact, off the coast of Yemen.
Yeah.
So this is the second missile, like advanced U.S. Air defense missile used and unfortunately captured.
I'm so hungry. Yeah, right? They keep getting fed the drones. However, I did look into some of the strikes. They are getting hammered. So the carrier group's getting its revenge. Uh, so this is an anti-radar missile, so it would take out the missile systems that are used by the Houthis. So it'll probably get sent over to Iran for study. That's my
Gosh,
guess.
I wonder how much. Like, I wonder if we're gonna see a lot of Iranian copies in the next couple. Because I imagine like they all share with each other, but I imagine like they probably take this stuff, bring it to
Mhm.
Iran, copy it, and then sell whatever's valuable to the Russians or Chinese.
Yeah. I don't know how much use they'll get out of an anti. Well, they could use it to help build systems to fight it, but a copy of it, they don't really have a good air force. Their air force is really, really bad.
Yeah.
So I don't know how much of use that'll be if they copy it. A good
Well,
morning, 88. True.
that's actually a funny one.
Oh,
I
and
think
then here.
if they do copy it, like I think the benefit just comes from having it.
Yeah. And then we were thinking of ideas for like we could do a little guy that has TTS that could sit on my head or something. So we were just coming up with different ideas that we could have chat be if they wanted to yap.
Yep.
Oh, and a
Uh
grenade, an MRE. There's dinner gate. So, oh, that's cute. Okay.
uh Iron, you had a good idea. It was a steampunk hawk.
Yeah,
What do you guys think?
MRE with eyeballs would be hilarious. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Thanks, Maki. Welcome to the stream.
Welcome.
Yep. So that's another couple things that we're just kind of thinking about in the background. What about a little old school radio? That would be cute. You like the MRE one too, Anglo? Okay, okay. Lemon
Yeah,
pepper
it'd be a
tuna
lemon.
MRE. Oh no. That would be so cute. It has a little yapper. Alright, but that does conclude today's Armchair General. So thank you guys for stopping by. Let me see how much time we have. So in about 20 minutes, we'll be playing some Hearts of Iron. The yapper in the rapper. True. Thanks for the update. I have become learned. Thank you, Legend. I appreciate everyone stopping by. In 20 minutes, we're going to be playing Hearts of Iron. I'm not sure. It's some sort of multiplayer game. I don't know what we're playing yet, but look forward to that, everyone. Have a good
Yep.
weekend.
Yeah, everybody have fun.